Breaking news, Columbia Green Federal Credit Union just saved our member $105 a month on their car payment.
That's no surprise. CGFCU helps our members save thousands.
Wait, thousands?
Yep, we have fantastic rates and flexible terms.
We save our members by refinancing autos, boats, campers, and even credit cards.
Apply today, see how much you can save.
Welcome back to the Press Box, presented by Columbia Green Federal Credit Union. Now, we had a couple big things going on this weekend. You guys went to Rashad Barksdale's event.
Yes.
How'd that go?
The Run This Town event, the 8th annual Run This Town event. And speaking for myself, I had a great time. That's one of my favorite events of the year, bar none. Always a good time, a great crowd on hand, had some celebrities in the house, and just some good basketball action as well. I mean, the dunk contest, well, it didn't go maybe as had been hoped. There were a couple of contestants in there, and that was a little choppy, but other than that, I mean, everything was just ran like a top, and it was a great time, great halftime entertainment. A couple of glitches with the music here and there, but again, let's not focus on that. Focus on the positive, and there was lots of positives there. Really good time.
Fast-paced game. A lot of great local athletes got to shine. Matt Dowles, Keelan Cross, of course, Catskills Justice Brantley got to show everybody that he's the real deal, and definitely will be the real deal in the college ranks coming years. And did you not get a photo op with Mr. Brandon Jacobs?
Glad you mentioned that. Yeah, he sought me out. He actually was looking for me and pulled me aside and said, "Hey, can I get a photo with you?" And you were right there, Johnny, on the spot, and took it. No, he was very courteous and a very large man, as we all know. I mean, he's a guy who's about 6'4", 260. Can you imagine a guy like that running at you full speed? Not me. No, thanks. Larry Johnson was there, two-time Pro Bowl player, two-time All-Pro. Just a really good time. They're great sports, great athletes, and it was a very, very good game. Very close game, went down to the wire. The celebrity game, that is. The Hudson Hawks, 5th and 6th grade team, put on a show, and the Hudson Lady Hawks in the first game of the evening put on a great show. So all in all, just a great time, and all for a great cause. Rashad Barksdale's It's Okay to Dream Foundation, the Run This Town event, the 8th annual, and another success.
Yeah, and it just keeps getting better. He always is bringing in top-tier talent, and just a great thing that he does. He's also going to be hosting a softball tournament coming up next couple months, I believe.
Yep,
that's going to be up at Hudson Valley in Joe Bruno Stadium, which sounds like a great time.
Yep, going to be a real good time. I mean, Rashad not only has the connections, but he knows what he's doing. He'll tell you that it can be a pain sometimes putting this all together. It's not easy, but every single year he pulls it off, and I can't wait for a softball event. It's going to be great too. But now you went to an event over the weekend.
Yeah, the following day, Jordan Hoos came back to Kind of Kills and had the Harlem Wizards game, packed out house. I was able to take my the eldest Grace to it, and she loved it.
That's great.
And everybody there, I mean, it was packed, wall to wall, standing room only, and the Wizards put on a show.
As they always do.
Yeah, they do, and just a great time for everybody. If you get a chance to see the Wizards, definitely go to it. It's worth the couple bucks that you pay for admission, and those guys, they know what they're doing.
And the favorite son comes home, Jordan, who's put on a show.
Yeah, Jordan,
just great kid.
Just a great talent overall, great basketball talent, as you guys have seen over the years, playing at Morrisville, Columbia Green, Kind of Kills. A bit different here. He's an entertainer now.
Oh, yeah.
Something, a whole different side of him that we've never seen before, and he's good at it. You see why they selected him. It's a really competitive process to be a part of the Wizards. And I'm happy for him that he's getting to do it, travel the world, and come back when he can to again, another guy coming back, doing a fundraiser for the town, and raising some money. All the proceeds went to the men's basketball team, boys basketball team over at the Kind of Kills. So they raised quite a bit of money for him.
The thing is, this young man's got game too. A lot of people think like it's just out there for show, but these guys can play. I mean, they do their tricks and their alley-oops and all that, but these guys can play, and it's fun to watch.
Definitely is. Now, moving on a bit to the next season we have. I know the weather is hopefully spring soon. The weather is a bit crazy right now, but hopefully the teams will be able to get out there in the next week or so. Nobody's really been practicing outside, but they are supposed to hold games on Monday. They'll probably be pushed back at least a week, but we'll see. But going into the season, who's your favorite on the baseball side?
You know, it's funny, Bri. You could come out and say any number of teams in when it comes to Patroon
Yeah.
baseball. I mean, there's the big four, of course. You've got Hudson, the defending champ, Coxsackie Athens, which finished runner-up to Hudson last year by like a game.
Yeah.
You've got Greenville, and you've got Chatham. But there's other teams involved as well. You've got a Maple Hill team under Rico Freese that's going to be solid, as always. You've got Catskill with Eric Joyce, one of the best players in the league, and Brandon Ecott. Justin Worth is going to be the number one pitcher for them. You can go on down the line. There's no easy days. There's no days off when it comes to Patroon baseball. Hudson, of course, has the returning MVP, the reigning MVP, and Jeremy Kramer at 479 last year. Had a decent season pitching, maybe not the kind of season he was hoping for, but still a solid pitcher. And that's the name of the game for a lot of the teams as well. Not only the fact that they have so many kids coming back, but solid pitching, which you're going to need, especially up here in the Northeast, where, of course, as you know, there's going to be a lot of rainouts, a lot of maybe even snowouts.
Right.
Bad field conditions will cause a glut of games to be made up later on. So you're going to need a solid maybe 4 or 5 pitchers.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teams up at the top have exactly that. I think defense, of course, is going to be the name of the game for a lot of these teams. Pitching and defense, as is always the case, is going to come into play here, and that could determine who wins the Patroon this year, because there are so many solid teams, and you could just flip a coin and say, okay, this team or that team. But a lot of good players coming back. Greenville, Liam Krasny, Cole Ackerman, Milton Edmonds, Chatham, Caleb Doyle, one of your favorites.
Yes,
He hit
he
506 last year. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Gil Bell for CA, and Michael Petramali, Adam Evans, and on and on. There's so many good players coming back, and it's going to be a very, very competitive Patroon conference. And moving on to the Colonial Council, of course. We've got Ichabod Crane that was number 1 in the state for a long time last year in Class B. Finished 16-2. Had the one hiccup towards the end of the season. One bad inning. I'd say one bad game. One bad inning against Voorheesville, and that took him out. That's what all it takes. One hiccup in the postseason. Other than that, you can't wipe away what they did last year. Just a tremendous team. They have a lot of good kids coming back. And Dave Yankowski, the reigning Colonial Council MVP. Seamus Wolf, John Wheeler. Wheels has been on the team for 5 years. Starting catcher, Reese Webster, and on and on and on. Just a really good team. One of the teams to watch, not only in the section, but maybe beyond that, and looking for state honors. It's a really good team.
They have 2 guys that are already committed to going to Division I colleges, and Yankowski going to Canisius, and Wheeler going to Siena next year. So that's definitely 2 guys to look out for. And Germantown also has a solid team.
Glad you brought that up. I was just about to sneak in there and say Germantown's got a very good team. You got the Kellen Benzes back. You got a really good team. And Brett Holmes, the coach, this is a team, like I say, just like with Ichabod, contending for sectional honors in the postseason. I think Germantown's going to be right there as well. They tasted defeat in the semifinals last year up in Glens Falls against Fort Plain. Took it on the chin pretty good, and I think this team remembers that, left a bad taste in their mouth. That's what Coach Holmes was telling me, and they're definitely coming back loaded for bear. And I think you're going to hear a lot from Germantown Class D this year in the CHVL.
Definitely should. Now, last week I just put you guys on the spot a little bit, picking NCAA tournament teams. This week, Patroon Conference. Who's your early favorite to win a championship? I like Coxsackie Athens.
Baseball, you're talking about here. Okay, all right. Well, you put me on the spot, all right, guys. Because there's so many good teams, and I just don't want to go out and say, well, or act like I'm playing favorites here, but the championship goes through Hudson.
Yeah.
I mean, Hudson,
defending champs. They
lost one starter in Antonio Fisher, who is a big loss.
Right.
But they got so many good players back. But again, you go to Greenville, they've got like 5 good pitchers.
Right.
They got some good hitters. You got Chatham, and Scott Stelz is one of the top coaches, not only in the league but in the area, and CA, Coxsackie Athens. But you put me on the spot. I got to go with Hudson. Got to go with Hudson. Until somebody knocks them off, they're still the team to beat. And I'm sure all the coaches would tell you that as well. They don't want the bullseye on their back.
They don't.
The magic number is 0-4, and that's 0-4 for the Chatham Panthers against the defending champion Hudson Blue in the last 2 years.
Right.
But I know Scott Stelz has had his boys working tirelessly since January, 6 a.m. workout sessions.
Yep.
And I can tell you right now, those guys will not go 0-6 against Hudson for 3 straight years, especially a senior-laden team.
Okay.
Expect the Chatham Panthers to come out and make a statement when they have Hudson on their home field, and obviously when they have to travel to Hudson.
Okay.
That's it. Moving on to softball a little bit, you've been in touch with a number of the coaches, Justin. Again, top to bottom, softball is a solid league in the Patroon.
Absolutely. We have all 8 teams are returning at least 6 players, with multiple teams returning at least 9 starters, or 9 players from last year, 7 starters at the max. Obviously, the season will run through Chatham, defending champions, 14-0 Patroon last year, 16-1. That lone hiccup came against Hoosick Valley, who they lost to the year prior in the opening round of the Section 2 Class C tournament. Obviously, a sour taste in both J.B. Brantley's mouth and obviously the Lady Panthers.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, they will have a lot of challenges ahead of them. Cara Durham with Jenna Polson, with Michaela Phillips, with Jolie Polson, a very strong team. Obviously, the Hudson Lady Blue Hawks are returning a ton of talent, including second team All-Star from last year, catcher Nicole Conti, who will definitely, the offense will run through her, along with Haley Beaumont and Carissa Garbarini.
Right.
You have Takana Kilds, you have Maple Hill. Ariana Pappas hit .585 last season and is in her 6th season for the Lady Wildcats, along with pitcher Alyssa Hoteling in her 5th season. And, of course, how could you forget the Greenville Lady Spartans, defending Section 2 Class C champions, regional champions, and a Final Four team last year. Obviously returning 2-time MVP and defending MVP Ava Fitzmaurice, along with Kayla Benning, who had probably one of the best postseason performances you could ever have. 2 home runs, 2 game-winning home runs.
Came to life.
So she is coming back, second team All-Star last year. So, I mean, Greenville lost to Chatham twice last year. So you have to think, not only do they want to repeat as Section 2 champions, but you got to think they want to beat Chatham.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go 0-4 against Chatham and then sit there and go to the sectional tournament and dominate.
Right.
So, and definitely for Maple Hill, who only finished 10-9 last year, and bringing everybody back. So, they want to come back and have a strong 2018 season after kind of falling off the wagon. Pat Austin was a little disappointed with the offense last year, but wants a little more consistency heading into the 2018 season with Ariana Pappas leading the way.
Who's your pick?
Well, I mean, it's hard to vote against Jenna Skype, Brooklyn Doyle, and the Chatham Lady Panthers with 4 returning All-Stars. But I think this year it's going to run through Greenville, but it's going to come down to the final week of the season, as it usually does. I think Chatham and Greenville split this year, but I think Greenville gets it by a game over Chatham, wins the Patroon title. Ava Fitzmaurice leaves as a Patroon champion twice.
True. They won basketball season this year. I can't go against J.B. Brantley.
Yep. You and me both.
Chatham. But, again, Greenville, one of the top teams. You're going to have Connie Kills is always there. Maple Hill is always there. You have Cara Durham, as you mentioned, is always there. Maple Hill. A really tough conference. In Germantown, over at the CHVL, undefeated last year in the CHVL. Should be another good team this year. Sam Marish, 2017 CHVL MVP, is returning. Star shortstop, excellent hitter at the plate. Could really dominate even at the Patroon level. She would be fantastic for any team. Along with Lily Watson, starting pitcher, had a great season last year. Kylie Pudney in center field, along with Jenna Egan, will round out their returning seniors. And they're also a very young team, so don't think about, they're losing top 4 seniors. They will be good for a very long time. Coach Del Pazzo has a great program going right now with a lot of youth integrated into the system, and they're going to be good not only this year and could easily repeat as CHVL champions and undefeated season, but also will be good for a long period of time. They definitely
have
should.
A lot of good teams around here.
They should.
What the bottom line is.
It definitely is. And Tim, real quick, when you came back a few years ago, you got the chance, the first season you were covering, you met a young lady over at Ichabod who turned out to be one of the best pitchers in the state. She's coming back for her senior season this year.
That's right, Callista Pippin. She, very first year I was back here, I don't think it was back here 3 weeks.
Right.
And she had led Ichabod Crane into the state Final Four as a freshman. Yeah. And they won that. I remember she came within 2 outs of pitching a perfect game in the semifinal, state semifinal, as a freshman, 14-year-old freshman. And they beat Alden 1-0, and then they beat a team from Syracuse area, Solvay, in the championship game 3-2. That was a highlight for me. And here she is as a senior now. It's hard to believe she's a senior, and she will lead Ichabod Crane once again. Justin, they have a lot of kids back. We were talking about all the returnees. This is a team that went to the Section 2 Class B championship last year, lost to Cohoes, which went on and played in the state Final Four. Yeah. I would not be surprised to see Ichabod not only win the section, but go on to state glory once again this year.
Yeah.
If we had to pick one team out of all these teams that we cover, and there's a lot of good ones, baseball and softball, I'm thinking Ichabod Crane softball has got a chance to win big and to win it all this year in the state Class B. And looking forward to watching her pitch one more year, Callista Pippin. If you haven't seen her, or even if you have, get out and see her in her final high school year. It's fun to watch. She's a sight to see.
It is, and it would be a nice bookend for her career, winning state as a freshman, last chance to do it again as a senior. But it was nice to get that out of the way as a freshman.
Right.
You have a state title, a little bit of pressure's off you, you're not looking for it.
That would be awesome
But
to finish up her
would be
career
great.
the way she began. Can't
would.
script that in Hollywood.
You can't. And one more thing before we let you guys go, vote for Rip.
Oh,
Rip
come
is
on,
back.
Rip.
Mascot Madness with all the SUNY schools. They're
Columbia
competing against
Green.
each other. He's in the second round, I believe, and doing pretty well here. But once he gets into the third round, the championship rounds, get your votes in.
But you get your vote in
I
already?
did.
I'm voting every day, because you can vote every day, so get on there and vote.
That's it. All right, thanks for joining us on the Press Box, presented by Columbia Green Federal Credit Union.